Under the bright lights of Madison Square Garden, Jalen Brunson once again reminded the league why he's quickly becoming one of the NBA's elite guards. The Knicks' leader put together another masterful performance, scoring 32 points and handing out 10 assists as New York outlasted the Memphis Grizzlies, 133-120. It marked the Knicks' 5th consecutive victory, and yet another statement that this team, under new head coach Mike Brown, is finding its rhythm. Leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. From the opening tip, it was clear the Knicks were in control. Their pace was relentless, their spacing was sharp, and their confidence radiated. By the midway point of the second quarter, New York had built a 28-point lead, fueled by precise ball movement and an unselfish brand of basketball that has quickly become their new identity. The Grizzlies fought back, trimming the deficit to 10 late in the fourth, but the Knicks responded like a team that's been there before, with poise, defense, and clutch shot making. The win keeps New York undefeated at home this season and improves their record to 7-3, solidifying second place in the Eastern Conference. The Knicks didn't waste any time setting the tone. In yet another explosive start, New York poured in 42 points in the opening quarter, moving the ball beautifully and punishing Memphis from every angle. It marked the second straight game, and the 7th time this season, that the Knicks have scored 40 or more points in a single quarter. No other team in the league has done it as consistently. The offensive balance has been a revelation. Every player on the floor is touching the ball, moving without it, and making the right reads. It's the kind of free-flowing attack that keeps defenses guessing and teammates engaged. The days of heavy isolation sets are fading. In their place is a system built on movement, pace, and confidence from deep. Perhaps the most impressive element of the Knicks' early success has been the production from their bench. Mike Brown has made it clear that depth is going to be one of New York's biggest weapons this season, and it's paying off. Jordan Clarkson, one of the NBA's most reliable reserves, continues to provide instant offense. Against Memphis, he knocked down 3 three-pointers and passed Vinny "Microwave" Johnson to move into 10th place on the league's all-time bench scoring list. Miles McBride, who's quickly becoming a fan favorite for his hustle and defense, matched Clarkson with 3 triples of his own. Josh Hart, the heartbeat of the Knicks' second unit, stuffed the stat sheet once again, finishing with 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 8 assists, including a spectacular no-look bounce pass to OG Anunoby for a thunderous slam. The chemistry between the starters and the bench has been seamless, a reflection of Mike Brown's trust in his rotation. Every player knows their role and everyone contributes. On the defensive end, the Knicks were just as sharp. Their wings set the tone early, with OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges blanketing the Memphis guards and turning defense into transition points. The pressure forced 22 Grizzlies turnovers, leading directly to 33 Knicks points. Mikal Bridges led the team with 4 steals, continuing his campaign as one of the best two-way players in the league. Karl Anthony Towns added 3 steals of his own, showing improved awareness on that end of the floor. Even in moments when Memphis tried to mount a comeback, New York's defensive intensity never wavered. The Knicks offense continues to evolve into one of the most dangerous perimeter attacks in the NBA. Against Memphis, they attempted a franchise record 55 three-pointers, fully embracing Mike Brown's shoot without hesitation mentality. Every Knick who saw the floor, except one, connected from beyond the arc. Brunson led the way with 6 triples, while Bridges, Clarkson, and McBride each drained 3. Landry Shamet contributed 2, and Karl Anthony Towns, who didn't attempt a 3 in the previous game, nailed 3 in this one. OG Anunoby had an uncharacteristically cold night from deep, finishing 1 for 9, but still managed to reach 16 points with his aggressive cutting and physical play inside. The balance in scoring continues to define this Knicks team. 6 players finished in double figures, another sign of an offense that no longer depends on 1 or 2 stars to carry the load. The Knicks' defensive strategy was crystal clear. Stop Ja Morant at all costs. They gave him space on the perimeter, closed off driving lanes, and forced him into tough shots. The result? One of Morant's most inefficient games of the season. Morant finished with 16 points and 10 assists, but shot just 4 for 14 from the field and turned the ball over 8 times. Every time he tried to push the pace or attack the rim, a wall of blue and orange was there to meet him. Mike Brown's game plan worked to perfection as New York effectively took the Grizzlies' star out of rhythm from the start. When Memphis made its final push, Brunson did exactly what great players do. He took control. With the Grizzlies cutting the lead to 10, Brunson calmly buried a deep 3 to extend the advantage and silence any hope of a comeback. Despite the free throw merchant label some critics throw his way, Brunson only went to the line 4 times in this game, hitting all 4, and proving his scoring came from skill, not whistles. He shot an efficient 11 for 19 from the field and 6 for 9 from 3, picking apart Memphis's defense with surgical precision. It wasn't just the numbers, it was the timing. Every time the Knicks needed a bucket, Brunson delivered. Every time momentum began to shift, he steadied the ship. That's what leaders do, and that's why Brunson is forcing his name into early MVP discussions. This Knicks team looks different, and not just because of the roster moves. The offense is faster, the defense is more connected, and the bench has become one of the most reliable in the league. Mike Brown's emphasis on spacing, ball movement, and accountability has already transformed the team's style. Even without Mitchell Robinson, who sat out for rest, and with Anunoby having an off night, the Knicks didn't lose a step. They scored 130 or more points for the 3rd consecutive game, something the franchise hadn't done in years. Now the focus shifts quickly. The Knicks head to Orlando for the 2nd night of a back-to-back to face a young Magic team that's quietly improving. The question for New York is simple: can they keep this offensive firepower rolling? If the last 5 games are any indication, this Knicks team isn't slowing down anytime soon. Mitchell Robinson's long-awaited return might finally be near, but whether he actually steps onto the court tonight at Madison Square Garden remains uncertain. As the New York Knicks prepare to take on the Orlando Magic, all eyes are once again on the team's defensive anchor and his troublesome left ankle. For months, the Knicks have been walking a fine line between hope and caution when it comes to Robinson's recovery. The 7-foot center has been sidelined for much of the season with lingering ankle pain, the same injury that required surgery back in May 2024. Since then, the organization has remained deliberately cautious, prioritizing his long-term health over short-term appearances. He's officially listed as day-to-day, but the reality is more complicated. The team's medical staff has taken every measure to prevent a repeat of the setbacks that have plagued Robinson's career. He missed the first 4 games of this season dealing with the same left ankle problem, and the Knicks learned a hard lesson about rushing him back in previous years. Each time they tried to accelerate his return, the injury resurfaced, forcing him into even longer absences. Now, with the Knicks playing some of their best basketball in recent memory, there's no reason to take unnecessary risks. At 7-3 and riding a 5-game winning streak, New York has been thriving without its elite rim protector. Karl Anthony Towns has seamlessly stepped into the role of starting center, and his impact has been undeniable. Averaging 20.7 points and 12.7 rebounds per game, Towns has brought a new level of offensive versatility to the lineup. His ability to anchor the paint on both ends has allowed the Knicks to maintain balance even in Robinson's absence. Still, what Robinson provides is unique. When healthy, he's one of the most intimidating shot blockers and rebounders in the league, a true defensive difference maker. His presence in the paint alters the way opponents attack the basket. He doesn't need to score 20 points to influence a game. His timing, length, and awareness make him a defensive system all by himself. That's exactly why the Knicks are handling his situation with such care. The decision to rest Robinson against Memphis earlier this week was not random. It's part of a carefully managed plan designed to keep him healthy through the grind of an 82-game season. With back-to-back games and a compact schedule ahead, the Knicks are looking at the bigger picture. A November game, even against a competitive Orlando team, simply doesn't carry enough weight to risk a setback that could sideline Robinson for months. Behind the scenes, the Knicks training staff has been monitoring his workload closely, adjusting his on-court activity to ensure the ankle continues to strengthen. Reports indicate he's been participating in controlled drills, testing his lateral movement, and gradually ramping up conditioning. But day-to-day doesn't necessarily mean ready to play. It's a label that reflects progress, not readiness. And for now, progress is exactly what the Knicks want. The team's chemistry has never looked stronger. Head coach Mike Brown has found a balanced rotation that's delivering consistent results. With Towns at center, the offense flows more freely. Spacing improves, and the Knicks can switch defensively without losing too much size. Ariel Hukporti, the young backup big man, has also provided solid minutes when called upon, showing promise as a physical interior presence. Josh Hart, as always, continues to contribute everywhere, rebounding, defending, and providing energy in the front court. It's worth noting that the Knicks' current streak isn't just about individual performances. They're winning with discipline, toughness, and adaptability, all qualities that have come to define their new identity. The addition of Towns has elevated their offensive ceiling, but it hasn't changed their their defensive mindset, and when Robinson eventually returns, that defense will only get stronger. For the fans, the anticipation is understandable. Robinson is a fan favorite, a blue-collar player who embodies the grit and hustle New York loves. His energy, his shot blocking, his rebounding, they're all part of what makes the Knicks so hard to play against when he's in form. But as much as fans want to see him back on the floor, patience is the right move. The team is winning, the chemistry is building, and there's no sense in jeopardizing a key piece of their playoff ambitions. So, will Mitchell Robinson play tonight? Most likely not. The Knicks are expected to hold him out at least one more game as they continue managing his recovery. It's the smart, calculated decision, one that reflects how much this franchise has evolved. In past seasons, New York might have gambled on short-term momentum. This time, they're thinking bigger. They're thinking about spring basketball, about a healthy, dominant Mitchell Robinson anchoring the paint in April and May when it truly matters. For now, fans can take comfort in knowing that the Knicks are winning the right way. The team has depth, chemistry, and a clear sense of purpose. And when Robinson finally returns, whether it's this week or next, he'll be joining a group that's already proving it can compete with anyone. Until then, expect the Knicks to stay patient, stay focused, and keep doing what's been working. Mitchell Robinson's comeback is coming, but not at the expense of the bigger goal, building something sustainable, something real, and something that can last all season long. The Memphis Grizzlies season continues to unravel, and once again, Ja Morant finds himself at the center of the storm. Tuesday night at Madison Square Garden, Memphis fell 133-120 to the New York Knicks. Another frustrating loss that dropped them to 4-8 and added more fuel to the growing fire surrounding their franchise star. It wasn't just another defeat. It was the kind of night that makes everyone, us from fans to analysts, start questioning what comes next for a team that was once viewed as one of the brightest young contenders in the Western Conference. The Grizzlies' identity has long been built around toughness, energy, and Morant's electrifying style of play, but lately, that spark seems to be fading. In a league that moves fast, patience is running thin. The same core that once pushed Memphis into the playoff picture now looks stagnant. Injuries, inconsistency, and locker room drama have chipped away at the foundation, and the Grizzlies have yet to prove they can recapture the magic that made them a threat just a few years ago. Morant, now in the third season of his 5-year, $197 million contract extension, remains the face of the franchise, but also its lightning rod. Every move, every comment, and every off night is magnified under the glare of the NBA spotlight. And on Tuesday night, that spotlight was brighter than ever inside the Garden. After posting 16 points and 10 rebounds in a losing effort, Morant made his way toward the locker room. As he disappeared into the tunnel, one fan decided to shoot his shot, yelling, "Come to New York." The crowd chuckled, cameras turned, and Morant, without breaking stride, responded with two simple words: "I'm cool." That brief exchange instantly went viral. Within minutes, clips flooded social media, and fans across the league weighed in. Some took Morant's words as confidence, others saw defiance. But either way, it sparked a conversation that stretched far beyond the game itself. "You know what the Knicks really don't need? Ja Morant," one fan posted on X. Another added bluntly, "Why would we want him?" A few questioned whether Morant could handle the pressure cooker that is New York basketball. With one writing, he wouldn't last a week with the NY media. The reactions were sharp, emotional, and divided, much like public opinion about Morant himself. His talent is undeniable. When he's locked in, he's one of the most dynamic guards in the league, explosive off the dribble, fearless attacking the rim, and capable of taking over a game at any moment. But inconsistency has plagued him this season, and that unpredictability has become a growing concern. Against the Knicks, Morant's struggles were glaring. He shot just 4 for 22 from the field, including a painful 1 for 10 from beyond the arc, and turned the ball over 10 times. It was the kind of performance that leaves coaches frustrated and fans restless. A reminder of how far the Grizzlies are from the dominant, fast-paced team they once were. Through Memphis's first 12 games, Morant has topped the 20-point mark only once in his last 5 outings and hasn't managed to shoot above 45% in any of them. Over that same stretch, the Grizzlies have gone 1-4, losing 6 of their last 7 overall. For a team that came into the season talking about redemption, the results have been sobering. Around the league, whispers are growing louder. Could Morant eventually seek a change of scenery? Would Memphis consider shaking up its roster if this downward trend continues? The answers aren't clear, but the tension is. In the NBA, windows close quickly, and the Grizzlies' once promising window is starting to look fragile. Morant has said all the right things publicly about his commitment to the team and the city, but frustration is building. Fans can feel it, analysts can sense it, and each passing loss adds more weight to the narrative that something has to give. Meanwhile, under head coach Mike Brown, the Knicks, the team at the center of this latest viral moment, continue to build momentum in the East. New York's 133-point outburst showcased the balance and depth the franchise has been searching for. While the Garden crowd loves to dream big and chant for stars, the reality is that the Knicks seem to be finding their identity without needing another headline-making addition. As for Morant, the spotlight isn't going anywhere. Every performance, every quote, and every reaction will be dissected. The league loves stars who can entertain, but it also demands consistency, leadership, and results. Right now, Morant and the Grizzlies are coming up short on all three. The question hanging over Memphis isn't just whether they can turn this season around. It's whether the organization still believes this version of the team, led by Morant, can ever get back to contention. And as for that fan's invitation to New York, Morant's quick "I'm cool" might have ended the conversation in the moment, but in the NBA world, stories like this never really die. They just wait for the next game or the next rumor to bring them roaring back to life.